Hey all, welcome to Friday, and yes, we're going to kick off my look at the Transformers Studio Series 86 Constructicons. This is on loan to me by a good friend of the channel, Daryl, but this Scrapper, he's going to be the first of those 6, and he's going to be our focus in the latest GotBot True review. Hey all, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, your most humble of hosts, Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot. As always, please like, comment, share. Of course, subscribe, and while you are at it, light them up, baby. Hit that notification bell, please. Helps me out a ton, let you know when content of all sorts goes up here on the channel. Check out Machinery of Man, The Everything Factor, all the groups that I'm either a mod or an admin for, as well as all of my social media links. All of that's in the description down below. Also in the description down below, and if you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link, check us out on Patreon, see what we have to offer to you through spring, or of course, hit the join button at any given time and become a channel member. So as I said, this is Scrapper. I wasn't planning on looking at it because I'm not planning on getting the set. But that doesn't mean I think it's bad. That doesn't mean I don't think that it's time for an update or anything like that. It's just I have the Combiner Wars and I'm happy with the Combiner Wars. That said, when you compare this to the stock Combiner Wars, then undoubtedly I think you get more here. We'll talk about that a bit later. However, how does it stack up when you compare it to this Combiner Wars? This one has elbows, wrists, and a blaster. And it's able to offer more than your stock Combiner Wars, certainly when put side by side with this guy. This one is the Combiner Wars with the Perfect Effect add-on kit. It also sort of mimics what the Takara would probably offer, since that one also had elbows and whatnot. How good is this new one? How bad is the old one? Are they comparable? Are they different? Are they the same? Let's find out when we head over to the table and take a closer look at this guy. And courtesy of our buddy Daryl, we're taking a look, or starting to take a look, at the Transformers Studio Series, technically it's 86, version of Devastator, which will put Devastator in line with the same scale and size as other combiners, which stand about a foot, 13 inches, somewhere around that range. It was something I wanted 10 years ago with Combiner Wars, when we got the gigantic Titan class version, and the only reason that I was okay with the Titan class version at the time is because the homage was, yes, a nod to G1 Devastator, but the type of vehicles used in order to justify it as a Titan were meant to be the huge, gigantic versions of industrial vehicles that you'd see at things like mines and like oil sands and that sort of stuff, like huge industrial complex, right? Not the run-of-the-mill construction vehicles that we're used to seeing, you know, around our city, around our town. The 86 are more true to the original animation and are indeed intended to be those more, I'll say, regular-sized vehicles, for lack of a better term. Interesting to note that as we go here. So, here we have Scrapper. It does say 1 of 5 over here. That's too bad. That's not right. It should be 1 of 6 over here. Nevertheless, they're probably saying 5 purchases because 2 of them come in that Commander class box. Of course, here you have Devastator over here. You have Scrapper over here wrapped around to this side of the box. A lot of people have said, is the Autobot logo wrong? No, they all have an Autobot logo on them now. That's just a thing. And then back here, of course, you see Devastator in the cartoon up here. You see both versions of Scrapper, the leader of the Constructicons, of course. And you see that he also comes with Devastator's blaster, as well as his own blaster. Inside the box, on the top, we have the Perfect Effect PC, I think it was 07 set that had arms and blasters for each of the Combiner Wars Constructicons. This was obviously the blaster that was meant to go with Scrapper, and I can now confirm that because the one on the bottom is the blaster that comes in the box with the 86. So yes, the top one is bigger, but so is the Combiner Wars Scrapper. They look very similar in sculpt. This right here is an excellent version of Scrapper's pistol, blaster, whatever you want to call it. We also have the totality of Devastator's rifle in here. Much like the Combiner Wars, again, these are 2 separate pieces like this that can come apart, and you could use them, I guess, however you see fit, as separate pieces and blasters and stuff. Or, of course, they go together to be Devastator's big cannon thing. Combiner Wars did the same thing. And now this is where things begin to get real interesting. I have to note this, and I have to say this, both of these are apparently Voyager scale. That's the way the Combiner Wars was marketed, as 6 Voyagers. The new one was also sold as a Voyager because, according to Evan Brooks, apparently Voyagers have ratchets, and this guy apparently has a ratchet in his body for the ankle tilt for Devastator. And apparently that's enough to make him worth a Voyager. In terms of mass, let's get that out of the way right away. Both of these do fall in the ballpark of Voyager. The Combiner Wars, including the Perfect Effect arms on him instead of the stock arms, and the Perfect Effect blaster, and the 2 pieces that the actual box set say are attributed to Scrapper being the 2 chest side wing pieces. Everything right here on the Combiner Wars Scrapper clocks in at 180 grams of plastic. Traditional Voyager, 145 to 165. This guy's a little bit more, but let's keep in mind that he also has a couple of like not stock parts. This guy, including the Devastator blaster, including the pistol that he has, and himself, clocks in at 133 grams of plastic. Yeah, slightly lighter than I would like for a Voyager to be, but it does fall in line with things like, for example, Optimus Primal, Kingdom Optimus Primal. It falls in line with a Voyager for that, which shocks me because it's not taller than any Deluxe, but it must have not only the Devi blaster, but it must have more kind of internal, I don't want to say workings, but internal dense plastic to get the added mass. It is definitely not a Deluxe, I can tell you that. So, both of them are Voyagers. The Combiner Wars was cheaper if you take the full price and divide it by 6, and it's more mass. So, it is what it is, but they're both Voyager. Cool. In terms of look, this one is more G1 toy accurate, what with the like extra silver detail and whatnot, like on the chest, and even what's down here on the hips, I suppose, although that's really animation accurate. The ribs, for example, the ribs here are colored, but they shouldn't be. Let's talk about the new guy. The new guy is also meant to be animation accurate. I would say even more animation accurate. Granted, I think this green is more animation accurate and this green is more toy accurate, but either green I think is fine depending on the saturation and the animation you're looking at. So I'm going to give him the green. Both head sculpts are perfect. When it comes to the chest, really both chests are pretty perfect, though the silverish gray on the sides here is more accurate to the animation than the red and stuff that we have here. The Decepticon logo, that's accurate. The hips should have this detail, even though they don't. The thighs should be all silver, the lower legs should be green. So both of them are actually quite close. I'm going to say, honestly, that if this guy is like a 9, this guy is like a 9.75. It's almost perfect. Little bit of detail on the hips right here. That would be it. So I'm going to say 9.75. The articulation, this is also where things begin to get interesting. So I'm going to take this out of his hand. And I'm going to even take his blaster out, because I think that it's going to be a lot more intriguing to do this comparison without the accessories here. So let me get the accessories out of the way. And we're just going to lay them aside for now. Let's do the articulation. So, actually, let's move them around here a little bit. And his head I just pushed down. Okay, so the head goes left, right, a little up, a little down. Again, this head goes left, right, a little up, a little down. Arms can full T-pose on the 86 and go all the way around. All the way around. We have a little bit of a butterfly wiggle. We have an elbow to 90 degrees, a bicep swivel, nothing at the wrist because of the way that they transform. So no wrist like rotation. And we have, I think, do we have a waist? Maybe we don't have a waist on this guy. No, I'm not discerning a waist. If there's one there, I can't get it to move. We do have legs that can full T-pose out to the side. Forward. Back. Not a lot because of the stuff, but you can get it if you work it a little bit. Thigh swivel. It's nice, no hollowness filled in there. I like that. Knee to 90 degrees. And a nice deep ankle tilt. Very deep ankle tilt, actually. Didn't realize about the wrist and didn't realize there was a lack of a waist. Huh. Go figure. Look at that. I get it. The guy also got to combine and stuff, so I understand certain limitations. But he has quintessentially most of what I could want. Waist would really be nice, as would wrist. I'm going to say a 9 for the articulation on this guy. This guy's articulation, I already done the head. The arms, they can T-pose all the way out to the side as well. Because of the perfect effect parts, or if you had the Picasso one, you still get an elbow to 90 degrees, a bicep swivel, you get wrist rotation. I don't know if the Picasso one has wrist rotation. Still no waist, so they tie out there. Can still do all the way to the side, can still do forward, can still do back, thigh swivel, though it's hollow here now, instead of being filled in, 90 degrees at the knee, ankle tilt. Literally, other than the perfect effect, arms give the Combiner Wars a wrist swivel. Literally the exact same articulation. Again, if this guy is a 10, then this guy would be a 9.75. The only real thing that he would be missing would be wrist. That said, I don't think this guy's a 10 because he doesn't have a waist, and this guy doesn't have a waist. So instead of being 10 and 9.75, I think what we're going to do is say 9.5 and 9.25, which means a 9.75 for the look, a 9.25 for the articulation. The Studio Series Scrapper is getting a 9.5. The Combiner Wars one, probably about the same for different reasons. Here's where I was blown away. The transformation now is literally the exact same thing. The only couple of minor movements is because of a slight design change that accomplishes the exact same thing. And the reason I have both of these guys here is because I really want you to see just how much the same they are. I think we'll go to, let's say, leg mode first, and then we'll go to tractor mode. Now, to be fair, in the instructions, and I don't think I actually showed the instructions. Normally I do that, but I got excited by the blasters. Here's the instructions. I didn't show them because, frankly, you don't need them if you know the Combiner Wars transformation. And I will also note that they don't show how to do the leg mode, so what I have might be a little bit of an approximation, but I think it's going to be close enough. First things first that we do with the Studio Series is we bring down the chest, we fold in the head, we close up the chest, and we can even straighten out the bucket. We can do that much for now. And while we're at it, let's fold in the hands and rotate these arms. Now, normally if we're going to tractor mode, we would now make sure to kind of peg them in here on the side, but we're not because we're going to actually put this down and go like this, and we're going to bring this around, and we're going to bring this around, and we're going to push both shoulders in. Okay, that's the upper body, that's what's going to be the foot done. In fact, I'm even going to do this. With this guy, instead of opening the chest, we push the head down. We still open this out. This time, however, we do have a little tab to put in there, but you get the idea. We take the arms and we bring them up. We take the arm and we bring it up. We push them in. We turn the arms around and we fold back. We fold back. We fold in a hand in a hand. And we bring all that in. Again, instead of bending the elbow back the wrong way, the perfect effect arms have you turn at the bicep, but you get the exact same thing yet again. Same thing, exact same thing. Now, let's do the legs. The legs of this guy. You would bring that off, bring that off. I'm just gonna kind of fold these feet out here. We bring the legs together and peg them together, and then they fold down around the back. And if it's like Combiner Wars, you would leave this part up because the chunk that's a thigh of long haul would go in here. However, there's a different mechanism for the combined mode here, so these will actually kind of fold down here, but we're going to leave them up here for now just for the visual aesthetic. Again, same thing. We pick off a leg, we pick off a leg, we put these two pieces together, and we fold these down. Oh, they did not want to go together. And there you go. Literally, the exact same thing, except this one is like a smaller size of this one. Same thing. Exact same thing. Which isn't a bad thing, because I think this was a great design, by the way. Let's go to the tractor mode. We bring both of those down and underneath. The arms now, they're going to rotate down. And when we bring it up, there's a little tab here that goes into a little hole right there. So we're going to do that next. We're going to bring this one out, down, up and around, and in there next. Make sure we got all of that folded down. And then this comes down over the front. Boom. Beautiful little tractor. By the way, I thought that this was just a roof. No, we have black windows on the side. There's a hinge in front and back, but you can pretend that they're also black windows. I like this. The tires on this guy are silver and pinned. That's an advantage over the Combiner Wars. But to finish off the Combiner Wars, to get to this, again, exact same thing. These come down over those shins the exact same way. And now, oh, I guess I should also pick this off and bring it down and bring it up and around and tab that in. And same thing on this side. We bring it around and we're going to push it in and tab that in. I gotta fix these arms here just a little bit because they actually tab down underneath here this time. Where are you? There you go, there and there. And pick that off and bring that down. Boom. Like, same, exact same movements. The only difference is these elbows bend back the wrong way, this bicep turns around. Other than that, exactly the same. I love this. I love this. So I'm going to say, I don't know. He was a 9.5. Let's say 9.5. Let's say overall he's a 9.5. I'd say this guy's about the same. I think they're very comparable. I don't think one is better than the other or worse than the other. They're just different. Now, this is much better if you do not have the perfect effect set and just those elbowless arms on this guy. That crushed this guy for me. You gotta have the upgrade kit or the Takara. But this is very good at a 9.5. I could take this guy out of it now. So, like, they're very comparable, which is why for somebody like me, I don't really see the point in getting the new one because it's the same, it's kind of the same thing but smaller. At least so far. So that said, what about the Debbie blaster and all of that? What can you do with all of that? Well, you have these kind of slots back here. So you can certainly, for example, and there's a little rectangular slot on the bottom of the Debbie blaster. So that can go, for example, in right there. And then the other one over here, that one has, yeah, so there's a little tab here. In the blaster there's a little notch, so you can put that notch on, I think, over that tab. Yes, and do that. And I do have to look at the instructions for 1 second for where to put his, yes, where to put his blaster. So, this blaster, again, I guess it's, can you put all three on? I don't think you can put all three on at once. Hold on. Let me double check that, because I don't quite think you can. No, it looks like you might not be able to, because this has a little rectangular tab on it too that would go across. By the way, if you notice the bruise on my arm, that happened when I was out mowing the lawn, and the blade kind of came off, so I had to rest the lawnmower on my arm while I was tightening the blade underneath, and lo and behold, it left the bruise. Go figure. But this, anyway, I digress, would have a rectangular tab that goes into one of these slots. So like if I take that off, I could take the rectangular tab that's here, and I'll take this one off too, just so you can see it. And I could stick it in, say, right there. you know? But it's sticking out a bit here on the side, so this wouldn't tab in. It's taking up the tab over here, so this wouldn't tab in. I don't know, if you fiddle with it enough, you might find a way to do it. 9.5, this is an excellent scrapper. Again, it's too familiar for me to Combiner Wars to be bothered to upgrade, but if you didn't get the Combiner Wars or you didn't like that size, this is excellent. What a fantastic, strong start to the Studio Series Devastator. I'm looking forward to more. For now, scrapper, strong start at a 9.5. And here we are once again, and here they are. Exactly the same. The only difference is one opens up the chest to put the head down, and the other just pushes the head down. One bends the elbows backwards, the other turns the bicep swivel around. That's literally the only two differences in these two. Other than that, every single solitary move is exactly 100% the same, which is wild to think. So, do you prefer the Combiner Wars? Do you like the bigger bot? Do you like the more cartoon accurate deco? Or do you prefer the 86, which has a more toy accurate deco? Or the 86, which has a more cartoon accurate deco? Ever so slightly more cartoon accurate deco. It's still missing some stuff on the hips, for example. I don't think either are bad. I like the size of these because I think they match up more with what I would think for the constructicons with their typical vehicle sizes, rather than the gigantic kind of revisioned industrial sized versions of these construction vehicles that the Combiner Wars was. I don't think the Combiner Wars is bad, at least not with the upgrade kit or the Takara version, but I don't think the 86 is bad. Comparing stock to stock Combiner Wars scrapper to this guy hands down wins. Comparing the upgraded or the Takara to this guy, same thing. So if you like the Combiner Wars, stick with it. If you like this, stick with it. I don't think there's a loser, and I do think that they both, shockingly, are Voyager. Granted, this is more old school Voyager at 180 grams with everything. This is like a newer size Voyager. Little bit light, but the mass is definitely there to call it a Voyager. In terms of, you know, what it is that it has to accomplish also as a limb, right? I'd like to see a little more mass. Like, I think we could have maybe filled in the arms a little bit more, you know, just to give maybe 5 grams more of mass. Not that there's a lot of hollowness here, to be honest with you. This is good. I mean, at the end of the day, here's the way I would say it. I really like this scrapper from Combiner Wars with the upgrade kit, which means I really like this because it's the same thing. I would never advise you to go back and try and hunt down Combiner Wars at this point. I would say, if you're gonna get a Devastator, get the 86, because this guy at least is a great start. Oh, and the one advantage this guy really does have over this guy is the pinned wheels. Nice to see, love to see it. Let me know what you think about 86 Scrapper. I appreciate you guys coming by, giving me some of your extremely valuable time. I do know how important it is to you. If you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link, check us out on Patreon, see what we have to offer to you through spring, or of course hit the join button at any given time and become a channel member. While you are at it, hit the subscribe button, man. Stick around and have some fun with us here on the channel. And don't forget, not for a moment, not for a second, that you right there, you do make a difference in the world. And I look forward to the next time that you and I get together to have another visit, either in the live streams on Thursday nights at the stop motion premieres, or the old fashioned way right here inside the videos.